You mentioned the word objective, which somehow was going to be my next question. Um, Also, in relation to anxiety, can we say that there is a relation between anxiety and the idea of working for objectives? I think that an objective is not a bad concept at all. I would like to know your opinion about this and if there is actually a correlation between objectives and anxiety.
Yeah, I think there is because if you think in terms of the objective is there and I'm here and I have to reach the objective, this calls for energy and for movement and for anxiety. And the problem is not with the idea of achieving something. The problem is that this become a framework. So, for example, for creative work, I think that the idea of goals and objective is a problem because it frames you inside something which is uh, an anxiety generator because the goal also is often tied to time. So you have to achieve that in time, in budget, and whatever, which makes sense from the financial standpoint, but from the psychological standpoint, from the individual, it doesn't for the individual.
You mentioned the idea of quest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Earlier.
Someone says, I don't remember, maybe a blogger, but he was saying, I prefer the word quest because quest is much more open. It's not like unidirectional towards a direction, but it's something like an adventure or something that may have highs, lows, setbacks, and success, and it's more motivating because I don't know if this is off topic, but underlying the emotion of the anxiety about goals and so on, there is the problem with motivation. Motivation is something that we invented to explain someone's people behavior. You see someone that reached the goals and you say, it's because she was motivated. But you don't know actually what motivation is. Motivation is emotion, basically. And so anxiety is a great motivator. It's not very good for your cortisol. It's not very good for your well-being. So in the terms of you say, okay, I am a company that relies on anxiety to reach the goals. It works. I mean, the bottom line, the financials will be okay. Your employees, not too much, and the health system maybe is not very happy about this, but it works.
Yeah, but somehow we should find a balance between the achievements, the necessary achievements of the company and the well-being of the individual, because in the end, if we keep going like that, we won't have workers anymore, we won't have employees anymore.
Yeah. And the problem is that our brain does it all the time. I mean, our brain is constantly monitoring where we stay in space. And depending on where we are, the brain creates emotion, which could be anxiety, but any other kind of emotion, a sense of calm, a sense of excitement. Everything is related also to the space where we are. And the problem is getting worse because who we are at 9 a.m. is not who we are at 4 p.m. in terms of our emotions, our hormones, or everything in our body changes constantly. So one thing is that we are all different. Second thing is our energy changes during the day. And
regarding this, I have another question. In our previous conversation, we mentioned not to be extreme, not thinking about rotating spaces, but guaranteeing more possibilities within the same space. I would like to ask you the same question. If you can talk more about making spaces more kind to people, like able to host what they actually are doing during the day. And also, I would like to ask you if there is a certain time of the day when we are more focused and when we are more inclined to discuss, take decisions, and have certain type of connections with other people.
I mean, there is a lot of research on that. I mean, I for sure remember that there are papers about psychology of decision that more or less in general, so statistically talking, that the best moment you have in terms of your level of cortisol, your say focus and so on, it's around 10 a.m. For the morning type, let's say, but the blender maybe.
No, it was pretty much the same also for night types.
Yeah,
maybe it was not 10, it was around 11.
So
it was
right before the first coffee break, or like around the coffee break. So, I mean, for sure, thinking about what's the better time to make a decision and a better time instead for having a discussion without any pressure to make a decision. It's very important. You think you are focused, but actually you are not, because there is also this idea in terms of psychology of decision. The idea is our brain is a master in make us believe that we are concentrated, in focus, and aware and present. But that's an invention of our brain. We have for example, there is a very old psychological law which says that every 3 seconds we lose conscience. So it's like 1, 2, 3, blank, 1, 2, 3, blank, which is for example, the magician, they use this now. So you think you are focused, but every 3 seconds you lose something. So especially when you have to make decision, you have to know that you cannot trust your brain that you are focused. If you have 5 people taking a decision in the right context with the right tools, it's better than taking a decision by oneself.